With his shirt over his head, Lamont cannot see his attackers. This proves dangerous, as Clark takes this chance to pick up an object and bring it down on Lamont's bare back. He gets back on his feet and lunges for the door, where he calls for help. Luckily, a male guard opens the door and pulls him inside.
Some people think that prison is like a hotel, and when you commit a crime, you come there and wait quietly until your sentence is over, so that you can continue with your life when you get out. As you know, not everything is as it seems. Sometimes the prison sentence is worse than death, and sometimes it comes to the same with time. It all depends on the criminal act you committed. For some, you're considered a respected member of the prison society, while for another type of crime, you are last on the food chain. This is Julio Cesar Garza. He is a convict who brutally murdered his cellmate while in prison and was given a life sentence without the possibility of parole. On March 3rd, 2022, a jury decided that 31-year-old Julio Cesar Garza was convicted of aggravated murder, a first-degree crime. According to San Pete County Attorney Kevin Daniels, Garza pummeled his cellmate for more than 7 minutes without pausing, causing injuries to the guy that were comparable to having a vehicle driven over his head. For violent robbery, Garza has already been given a sentence ranging from 5 years to life. In addition to beating his cellmate to death, prison guards claimed he had committed several other offenses while inside, and that he had already been given numerous opportunities to behave differently. Carlos Adrian Javier Hernandez, 24, was in prison for raping and murdering Keely Amber Hall, a 15-year-old girl, in St. George when he was 14. He was tried as an adult and was serving a sentence of 15 years to life in jail when he was murdered. He was discovered unconscious on the floor of his cell in the Hickory facility about 8 p.m. that day after prison personnel heard suspicious noises, according to a prepared statement from the Utah Department of Corrections. According to the police department, the death is being investigated as a homicide, and the victim's cellmate, Julio Cesar Garza, 25, was a suspect.
New tonight, the Department of Corrections is investigating a homicide at the prison in Gunnison. Police say officers found Carlos Hernandez unconscious on the floor of his cell last night. He was flown to the hospital and later pronounced dead.
Everyone was stunned when the article appeared on the news.
Police say his cellmate is the primary suspect in the investigation. He's currently in prison for aggravated robbery and assault by a prisoner. Hernandez was serving a sentence of 15 years to life for raping and killing a 14-year-old girl when he was 15.
Stephen D. Sandison. Some people believe Stephen D. Sandison is a hero for murdering his child molester jail cellmate, but Sandison wants the world to know he's not. It's been 2 months since Sandison explained his motive for the murder before a Saginaw County court. He went to court on Wednesday, April 22nd, to receive his sentencing. Sandison, 51, pled guilty in February 2015 to second-degree murder for the death of Theodore Dyer, a 67-year-old Grand Haven resident who was serving a 25-year minimum term for first-degree criminal sexual conduct against a minor. Sandison is already spending life in prison without the possibility of release for the murder of his girlfriend in Wayne County in 1991. Sandison confessed to police the next day that he questioned Dyer about his conviction and began attacking Dyer when Dyer refused to stop attempting to deny or defend it. Sandison informed investigators that after knocking Dyer unconscious, he strangled him using Dyer's shoelaces.
All right, I guess he decided to clear his conscience or something, but, he told me what he was in prison for, that he had, was accused of raping an 11-year-old girl, and he got 25 to life for it. And
he even said that he was aware of everything he did.
After I was done, I was aware of what I was doing, and then I just put him on his bed and covered him up and climbed in my bed and went to sleep.
He even told the court why he did it.
The reason I killed him was because he was a child molester.
But you did in fact kill him?
Oh, sure.
And you intended to do it?
Oh, sure, yes.
After that, he continued with the story of how it happened.
Well, if it's all right, I'd like to tell you where it started.
Go ahead.
All right, well, he was my bunkie, and I had found out that he was in prison for child molestation.
In the course of this story, he found out who he was actually sleeping with in the room, and then the story took a completely new direction.
Continued to talk about it and try to justify it, so he was a little bit bigger than me, so I got down and I hit him in his face a few times, and when he fell, I wrapped a cord around his neck and I took his life.
Some consider him a hero, but he doesn't think so.
People think I'm some kind of hero, well, I'm actually not. I just, did what I thought was best in the time that I was given.
While others thought differently, he added that he doesn't feel bad about what he did.
I don't feel bad for what I did, I feel bad for maybe his family or something. But as far as remorse towards him, no.
Some members of Dyer's family were there on court, but they declined to speak before Borchard, according to Saginaw County Assistant Prosecutor Joseph Albosta. After the punishment, the family members likewise declined to talk to the Saginaw News. Borchard condemned Sandison to life in prison with the possibility of parole without further observation. If you want more videos like this, hit that like and subscribe button. Jamie Osuna, 34, has a Joker smile and a pentagram tattoo on his face. There isn't a single untouched place on his face. In interviews with former KGET reporter Olivia Lavoie, Osuna revealed the excitement he experienced from killing Yvette Pena, whose torture slaying he acknowledged to, and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He immediately admitted it.
I did sadistically, premeditatedly, deliberately tortured and murdered Yvette Pena.
Osuna told Lavoie some shocking things before the interview began.
As you kill a person, it's more of a trying to get a rush. It's a rush, it's an addiction, it's a drug.
After this, he admitted something else, since he seems to have understood where he will spend the rest of his life.
Have you killed anyone else?
Yes.
How many others?
2.
Who are they?
Can't tell you, but you will find out. Because I always got to have an ace in the hole.
His mother was the first to make a statement.
He didn't come out of the womb, an evil killer or whatever they're saying. He was a normal, loving kid.
And his ex-wife had something to add to that.
Very few people born evil. It's rare. I believe it's nurture over nature.
He had a lot of psychotic behavior in his early childhood.
Since I was a kid, 8, 9 years old, I've killed animals. My mom would go to the store, I'll put the cat in the freezer, 15 minutes, let it out, put it in the oven, let it out, stuff like that.
He even mocked the victim's family while the trial was going on.
One smile, but I do hope that one day that Osuna will have sorrow and remorse.
Osuna was sent to Kings County's Corcoran State Prison. He was ultimately assigned a cellmate, Luis Romero, 44, who had been in jail for more than 2 decades for fatally shooting a lady in Los Angeles. On March 9, 2019, Corcoran guards examined his cell and discovered a horrific discovery. Romero had been decapitated, one eye stabbed, and other body parts taken away. Osuna wore a necklace consisting of his cellmate's body parts. "Ha ha ha" was written in blood all over the walls. Also written on the walls was "The Man with 1,000 Faces." Some people get a sentence from the judicial authorities, while others get the so-called fairer one, which is a prison sentence from the prisoners themselves. Some agree that this is better, and some don't. But there are cases like this all over the world. If you missed anything from the field of judging, go back to our channel for previous videos and find everything you're interested in. Thanks for watching.